So what made you decide to get into real estate?
Well, it's kind of a crazy story. My husband and I used to be in the bar business. We got out of the bar business. We had a 5-year-old because it didn't really make sense. And it was crazy low interest rates, meaning interest rates had fallen to an all-time low of 8%. My husband was in the mortgage business on the wholesale side. And so my husband said, well, why don't you get your real estate license and go do refis, right? Because it was refi mania was going in full effect. And so I got my real estate license in December of 93. I started doing loans. I did loans for about a year and I hated it. I hated it. I hated loans. So God bless all the lenders out there. You guys do an amazing job. It wasn't for me. So I decided not to do loans, and I now had my second baby, my son Jake, who was just a couple months old. He was in a baby carrier. And the guy who sold me my house, Luigi Caprio, said, hey, I could use an assistant to help me out. So I went to work for Luigi as his assistant, carrying my son Jake, who's now 30, carrying my son Jake into the office, and his phones would ring off the hook. I was setting up his very first computer system with the MLS had just transferred from books to the MLS. And so his phones would start ringing off the hook, and I'd be like, what do I do? And he goes, well, answer the phone. I'd be like, okay. So I'd answer the phone. I go, they want to go see houses. He goes, well, go show them houses. I was like, okay. And back then we didn't have cell phones. I mean, now I'm really dating myself. So I'd come back to the office. I'd be like, Luigi, they want to write an offer. And he goes, well, write an offer. I was like, okay. Thank goodness our contracts were only 4 pages then. So I literally wrote my first contract. I had never even read a contract before, on the very first contract I wrote. And I remember going to the broker and saying, hey, I need somebody to review this. He goes, oh, I'm too busy right now. See if there's somebody on the floor. I mean, this is just how it was. Well, I ended up selling 18 houses in my first 6 months. And decided, hey, I think this real estate gig is for me. So shortly thereafter, I made the huge mistake of opening my own brokerage because, of course, that's what you do when you're young and cocky and think you know it all. And that was an even bigger mistake, but that's a whole nother story.